We're going to discuss the challenges that MSNBC is facing in finding an audience. And let's just talk about Ronan Farrow, son of
Somebody.
Old Blue Eyes. He looks so much like his daddy. It's really uncanny. And isn't he the one? I was hearing this on the radio earlier. On like his 7th day of being on TV and his 7th day of being really horrible on TV, he won some sort of fabulous broadcaster award. I mean, it was basically his version of the Nobel Peace Prize.
I don't know. He won something, but it was just like this guy was hailed as the new hope. You know, the guy who would be Chris Matthews and Keith Olbermann and all of those, Dan Rather, rolled up into one awesome, sexy package of Democrat liberal awesomeness, and it didn't work.
Did you just call him Ronan Skywalker?
Did I do that?
A New Hope?
I like the tie-in.
Yeah, except for the thing that he actually...
He also said the word sexy in reference to the word Ronan Farrow, and that deserves an over-budget extra sound effect. Don't ever call that guy sexy. He's just too stupid.
That's coming out of your pocket, Leslie.
Yeah, seriously, that's... Man.
I used those were private funds that I had.
I gotta say this.
Would not have allowed that, just for the record. I'm not paying dues anymore. But you see, the sad thing is, I'll find out I'm the only one who was. But that's okay. Have you guys noticed that that MSNBC and some of these places, these liberal broadcasters, are starting to look like the Democrat congressional bench, thin. I mean, when I was growing up, Democrats were all the rage. They were everywhere. They were super popular, both on TV and they had a deep bench. They had 20 candidates coming for every one. Now they got nothing. I mean, my goodness, I'm hearing crickets down the line. I've never seen anything like this.
Let's be clear here. What's been going on though? MSNBC was always pushing to be the niche market. They were not going after the broadcast numbers. There was no way they were going to lead cable news at all, nominally news anyway. But what they were doing and what they were about and what they were very well positioned to do was take people that they had that had the right views for the left and put them on a show, but it didn't matter how many people were watching, except to maybe dealing with sponsors, but they had a parent network that would help cover that. The point was to get those clips with the imprimatur of officialness, official media, and then cut those clips out, put them on the internet, put them on YouTube, send them out there. People who wouldn't show up to MSNBC, who couldn't find it on their remote in their cable system, would be able to find it on YouTube, watch 5 minutes of someone smacking down or roasting someone on the right for something, and have that be the message that goes out. It didn't matter ratings-wise because they had the clips, and they were okay financially to do this. But what seems to have been happening is, though, their content isn't even consistent enough or good enough or creative enough to get anybody to watch the clips. I don't know. But I will say this, that it's all well and good to have that theory that you can clip things out, but you have to be on a show, Ronan, in order to get your stuff clipped out. That's all I'm saying.
In their favor, I mean, in their defense, it's very hard to find them. I had to bounce the signal off of several satellites, and I think Saturn. And, it wasn't easy, and I finally was able to see a grainy picture from MSNBC of somebody crying.
He was describing the people who are of the nanny state and the people who love to ban things, and he referred to them as bansterbaters. And I'm enough of a 12-year-old that I giggled when I read it, because I was reading this article in an English accent because James Dellingpole is a Brit, so I'm reading it with this very sophisticated British accent in my head, and I come across the word bansterbaters, and it just made me laugh like crazy.